All right, joining me now, Liz Peek, Fox News contributor, and John Carney, financial journalist. We're going to talk about a positive oil shock. I'm just going to say, Liz, if you look at the markets today, all right, stocks at one point were up 800 points. Chevron was up, I don't know, 1.10%. Schlumberger is up. That's an infrastructure servicing stock. Halliburton, ditto. What's that telling you?
Well, let's think about what's happened over the past year. People got to the point of realizing, finally, we're going to need oil for the foreseeable future, right? I mean, that was an actual turnaround. We were supposed to be going all electric, all windmills and, other kinds of renewable energy, but guess what? That's not going to happen. So here we have 300 billion barrels of oil, the biggest reserve in the world, that has been underexploited for the last 25 years. So it is a huge boon for so many reasons, Larry, because John and I were talking earlier. I mean, what does it mean? It means I think we can impose incredibly strict sanctions and follow through on sanctions in Russia and Iran, for example, without worrying about the oil price. This isn't tomorrow. It's going to take some time to get these fields that have been so underinvested and so forth and underproducing back up to speed. They were producing in Venezuela 3 million barrels a day. Now it's under 1 million. That's a big drop, and I think it really speaks to a lack of investment. But over the next, 5 years, you're going to see a real ramp up there, and it gives the Americas a tremendous energy security that we didn't have.
I think you have, to some extent, this is drill, baby, drill hemispherically, okay? Yeah. And you're right, it's not going to happen overnight. But it will happen. I mean, if anything happens that way, and Chevron's there, they kept their license. They can move. I don't know about Exxon, but you can do more. The point is, we are going to produce a lot more oil. The United States, you may know this, okay? This year, according to the U.S. Energy Department, we are at 13.9 million barrels a day, nearly 14 million barrels a day. And economists are saying it's a lot more than we need. Prices are coming down. And John, I would posit prices are going to continue to come down. Gasoline prices, energy prices permeate the economy. You're going to have negative CPIs, and you're going to have real GDP prints that no one believes possible. Not 3%, 5%, 6%, 7%. Not forever, but I think that's coming next year and the year after that.
We also we're de-risking the economy. For decades, we have been at the mercy of whenever there was an oil shock all over the world. Every major recession we've had, except maybe the first Reagan recession, which was interest rate driven, but it's been driven by an oil shock.
Yes.
We are de-risking not just the United States economy, by the way. This is a gift to the whole world.
This is a positive.
Right. It's a positive for the whole world. It is a positive oil shock. We will no longer be at the mercy of some geopolitical conflict a half a world away, because we will be able to say, here in the Western Hemisphere and in the United States and in Canada and in Mexico, we're almost producing 40% of the world's oil in this hemisphere. We are going to probably be producing even more than that in the future. So this side of the world, which was dependent on the other side of the world for years for energy, is about to become the energy resource for the rest of the world. And that's a resource for peace and prosperity.
This is even before Alaska.
Yes,
we've got huge reserves in Alaska that are untapped.
40 to 50.
This administration wants to do that.
So. $40 to $50 a barrel. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just saying, you're at under 60. You're at 57, 58 now. Gasoline's about $2.75. It's all falling. You get to $50 a barrel, $45 a barrel. Russia cannot afford to fight a war. Oh. They fight at 100. They can't fight at 50. That is huge. Trump knows this.
Yeah, I mean, again, it gives us such flexibility in dealing with Russia and Iran. I mean, both of those countries are obviously derive their income from oil. So this is a huge, even if the price doesn't go down that much, we can sanction that oil and really impose those sanctions, make sure they're not exporting around the world, and still we do not risk what you're talking about, an oil price shock, which is huge.
I think Liz said something really important. We've gotten over this insane idea that we're not going to use fossil fuels anymore. The economy is actually becoming more energy intensive than it has been. All of the AI stuff is going to take up a lot of energy. We are going to need more and more energy in the future. That is going to come from fossil fuels.
Hold on. Yeah, 13.9 million barrels a day of oil, right? New world record. Natural gas, 120.7 billion cubic feet per day. Natural gas, 120.7 billion cubic feet per day. That is a new world's record. Republicans do well on the economy, they win the midterms.
No question. And this all feeds into that. I mean, if in fact we do see a decline in inflation, that alleviates a lot of the anxieties out there about the cost of living. You add that to the fact that real wages are going to be going up, real take-home pay is going up. That's a pretty good combination for the American consumer.
You could have negative CPI prints. I'm just saying, not forever, but no, you could easily.
I paid less than $2.50 a gallon to fill up my gas.
That's why
my car the other day.
Tim Walz pulled out. Not because of the fraud, because he's saying the economy is too strong. No, that was a joke. It has something to do with fraud.
I'm not sure he understands that.
Were you?
I think Tim Walz got jealous because for about 12 hours we were not talking about Minnesota fraud. And he's like, let's get us back on Minnesota.
I think Republicans are going to sweep in Minnesota. Thanks to Liz Peek and John Carney.